problema ka ba sa landlord mo? Baka evict ka na ni kuya. May problema sa mga kapitbahay, sa trabaho. O kaya naman kay mister o kay misis. Away tungkol sa mana, mga may utang, mga aksidente, daing o laban sa ospital or sa NHS. Harassment? O baka naman may stalker ka na gusto mong ireklamo. Punta na sa DV Solicitors para matulungan ka pagdating sa mga litigations at iba pang mga legal concerns. DV Solicitors at 2nd floor, Howard House, St. John Street, Bedford, MK42 0DJ. Tumawag sa 01234-350-244 or 01234-225-188 o kaya naman mag-email sa d.quinto@dvsolicitors.com. Visit our website at www.dvsolicitors.com. Mula doon hanggang ngayon, serbisyong mapagkakatiwalaan, serbisyong maaasahan pagdating sa inyong mga padalang balikbayan boxes. Dito ka na sa Forex Cargo. Sa presyong kayang-kaya ng bulsa, sigurado ka pa sa inyong padala. Forex Cargo. Dahil kailangan makarating. Call 0208-813-7064. O ano pang inaantay niyo mga kabayan? Tayo na sa Forex Cargo.
%100% all natural, tasty, healthy, versatile, 4 unique flavors. Taste a real sauce. Galettos.
During these trying times, we salute the frontliners who are tirelessly caring for all of us against the COVID-19. To all the courageous nurses, doctors, carers, and paramedics at the NHS, words are not enough to thank you. We at Highlight Express International are here to support you back with a full semester 10% discount when you send your balikbayan boxes to your family in the Philippines. Dahil ang Highlight Express International ay para sa pamilya.
Okay, nako, magandang evening ho sa inyong lahat. Ayan, nabubulol ka agad tayo. Excited kasi ho tayo dahil makikita na naman natin yung ating pinakamamahal na abogada, no? Ito ang programang pinag-uusapan natin ang batas dito sa United Kingdom. Para nang sa ganun ay malaman ho ninyo kung ano ang dapat nyo gawin. So, dito sa ating programa, open ho kayo. Pwede ho kayo mag-message sa atin any of your questions, no? Tungkol ho rito sa mga bagay-bagay tungkol sa batas dito po sa United Kingdom. Siyempre, palagyan, kasama natin yung ating beauty and brains ho to. Combination to, no? At pinakamamahal ho natin to. Ito ho yung kumbaga darling nating abogada ho. Sabihin na natin siguro, ito yung parang darling na abogada ng buong United Kingdom, no? Dahil siya ang talagang kilalang abogada na sa ating lahat at ka-social bubble ho natin dito sa ating virtual social bubble, and she has been with us for over a year now, so thank God at nakakasama natin At maski paano ho ay may nalalaman kayong impormasyon tungkol sa ating batas. Siyempre, ipakikilala ko na yung pinakamamahal natin, lagi natin pinakaabangan. No, inaabangan ni Emmeline Rafael to, kaya pag dumarating to, capital letters ang kanyang messages sa atin. Siyempre, walang iba kundi ang managing partner po ng Deo Volente Solicitors or DV Solicitors, walang iba kundi si Attorney Danna Quinto. Attorney, good evening!
Good evening, Mr. Laragan. Magandang gabi sa lahat ng mga ka-social bubble natin dito sa Filipino TV Europe. It's been more than a year, sabi mo nga. It's been absolutely an amazing adventure so far. 1 year na tinatalakay natin yung mga batas, yung case study, hypothetical question, o mga tanong ng kaibigan, tanong ng kapitbahay, tanong ng best friend, tanong natin mismo, personal experiences, personal cases. So, nawa may mapulot ang mga kababayan natin sa pinag-uusapan natin. Of course, we don't just talk about the law. Share din tayo. So, I just want to say I'm sorry for the late start. That was me. Alam po ng mga kababayan natin that since last week, I am joining our Muslim brothers and sisters sa Ramadan fasting nila. So this is my 8th day of fasting. So I had to, yung iftar is breaking the fast po. So I had to do that before 8:12 yung nasa schedule. So I have to eat a little bit bago pumunta sa Filipino TV Europe. So maraming salamat po for bearing with us in the next probably 3 more weeks. So pasensya na po kayo, but for me it's good to share that experience, Mr. Lara. Marami tayo. I grew up in Mindanao. So I grew up with a fair bit of Muslim community around me. Although I studied in a Catholic school, meron kami mga Muslim schoolmates who would also, makikita mo na they would equally respect our culture. And then when I moved to the UK, mas marami dito, diba? From all background and races, Pakistani, from Bangladesh, from everywhere else, Middle East, and all of that. So I think it's quite, mas lalo na sa firm namin. So we have, I have team members, I have colleagues, I have, mga partners, senior partners, as well as top to bottom na nagpa-fast. So what's the better way of walking in their shoes by doing it myself? So I thought I will try to do the whole thing. It's been
from top to bottom, huh?
From
the big bosses,
from the big bosses down to
down to
may mga nagpa-fast po. So everyone's not all of us are fasting, because we're a bit diverse. We have everyone at DB. We have all we'd like to think that we're a representative of the community. So we have everyone there. May mga hindi nagpa-fast and we're all working together. So it's quite
meron ding hindi nagpa-fast, attorney?
Hindi rin naman sila. It's not mandatory.
Okay.
It's not mandatory. Ako lang nag-volunteer na sumama dun sa mga religious. It's some of my colleagues have they do it because for religious purposes. Some of my colleagues are Christian. I have Christian colleagues, Hindi. Lina, whose birthday was yesterday. Happy birthday, Lina. She was
Lina. Si Lina, your ating favorite, Lina. No, she's been with us for a couple of times already.
Yeah, it's her birthday, so she wasn't fasting. We provided food kasi birthday niya, so we have food, we have cake, and all of that. Kahit we're fasting, so I had to take home my share, and I had to eat that.
So andun yung food, pero hindi nyo pwedeng kainin muna.
Kumain sila.
Kumain sila. Okay. Oo nga. Okay.
Rule about it. Kain ang gusto kumain, ang nagpa-fast,
okay.
Lang. Walang problema. Go and let's coexist.
Pero attorney, ikaw ang nagpa-fast na parang ang ganda ng nag-glow ka, naka-smile ka, parang excited ka. I don't know kung dahil nakapag
Nakainom ako ng
nakakain ka na, nakainom ka na, o ano, no? Oo.
Nakakain na po. Hindi po ito yung fasting. If you wanna see me fast, maybe next week you wanna see my fasting face. It was a very flatter. Yeah, I will probably
Kasi,
because it's getting. I'll probably
kasi-
do that. Then we can
Kasi
take a
last
break.
week iba itsura mo eh. Parang ano kayo, di ba? Parang
It's okay.
Ayan.
Ano lang
Ayan,
yung
okay na. Okay,
internet.
balik na tayo.
Nabulunan lang yung internet.
yung internet
Nabulunan
natin,
lang.
nabulunan lang.
Yeah.
Mm.
It's last week. I must admit, after a few days, it got better. The first day was the hardest. Nahilo ako.
Oo nga.
It was very hard. It was a shock. The body was such a shock. And then it gets better. Ngayon, I don't have headaches anymore. I would have a little bit sometimes. I think the dehydration is the one that's very hard. It's getting better, but equally, pag hindi ka nakatulog ng maayos, yun talaga yung makaka-apekto sa'yo. So, straight away, when you have your water, hindi mo talagang, And generally, maganda po sa katawan, sabi din nila, because it tends to
Which one?
detoxify.
The fasting?
Fasting in general is
In general. Pwede yata yan. Some people do it yata na mga once a week yata. Parang gano'n.
Yeah,
No? To
that's
detoxify themselves, no? Pero
That's
ito,
true, yeah.
pero ito, everyday, sa pati Sabado at Linggo ba? Kasama ka dyan, attorney?
Oh, every day po, every day. It's
Every
been
day.
straight
Okay,
8 days now of about 16 hours, roughly 16 hours of fasting both food and water. And
Okay.
I feel lighter. I feel,
Oh, really?
isa nga lang, hindi na ako nagkakape masyado, which is probably good for my health.
Teka muna, you still wake up at 3:30 or 3 o'clock in the morning and then go back to sleep again?
3:45 in the morning. Yeah.
At 3:45, tapos mga 15 minutes kakain ka lang siguro o 20 minutes?
2 minutes.
2 minutes, balik ka agad.
I only eat 3 dates. 3 dates at 2 glass ng water. Only because I can't eat very much sa ganung.
Ano, attorney, nakapikit ka pa, kumakain ka siguro dahil medyo antok-antok ka pa para lang siguro ma-replenish ng konti yung katawan mo. Ganun ba? And then
Exactly.
tulog ka agad.
Tulog agad.
Okay, all right. Okay. Tama na naman, 'di ba? At least you've done your yung parang yung sustenance mo for the remaining 16 hours. And then pag tanggalan ng fast mo, iftar yung fasting.
Iftar is breaking the fast.
Breaking the fast na, yung sa gabi na, yung later on. Okay.
Exactly.
Nabanggit mo, attorney, na, pareho tayong Damer, Notre Dame, no? Nasa Mindanao ka, maraming siyempre, Muslims and Christians, diyan mo makikita ang karamihan ng Muslims sa Mindanao, no? Meron kaming kaklase, nagulat kami. Ang pangalan niya, si Joseph Mustafa Cabaltera. He's a Muslim, na. Pero nag-aaral siya sa Catholic school, no? Kaklase namin. Pag religion, lumalabas siya. Pag yung theology o ano ba subject namin sa Notre, tapos babalik siya pagkatapos na. Ganun ba ang kaklase mong mga Muslim sa Notre?
Ang pagkakaisip ko po, pagkaka-remember ko is, hindi po ata sila, sa yung religion na subject, hindi po sila lumalabas. Pero, pag may mass, so diba sa atin, so Notre, may First Friday Mass, may Novena, may ganon, dun po sila excuse pag may mga religious activities.
Okay.
That's how I remember it, I think. So, pero marami po kami may Muslim, may other religions sa non-Catholic ang tawag, mga non-Catholic na
Non-Catholic,
Catholic school.
Pero yun, namumukod tangi siya, nag-iisa lang yun. Dapat makumusta ko na yung mga classmates ko. Dahil ano yun ano ba tawag dito? Pinag-uusap, meron kaming forum, grupo ng Facebook ng mga classmates ko, yung batchmates ko. No? Pero naalala ko, because nabanggit mo yan, ikukweri ko sa kanila, kumusta na siya, no? Si Joseph Mustafa Cabaltera. Oo, kumusta na kaya siya, no? Di ba? Teka muna, may mga kumusta. Teka muna, may mga mabati sa ating attorney. Magkumustahan muna tayo. At syempre, na-miss ka namin. No? Ito yung ating mga nangumusta sa atin. Ayan, si Mar Natal, no? Si Mark Natal yan. Good evening, Attorney Danna and Mr. Pogi Sonny Laragan. Mark Natal, oy. Mabawi
Bagong favorite.
Sa bagay, okay lang yan. Although, alam kong hindi totoo, pero thank you very much, Mark, no? Maraming salamat.
Most romantic, ano sa Europe eh.
Naalala ko si Mr. Reman tuloy yan, ano? Oo. Naalala ko si Mr. Reman tuloy. Ayan, si Emmeline
Ay,
Rafael,
si
attorney,
Emily
no?
Rafael.
Oo. Ayan, oo. Sabi niya, good evening, Sonny. Attorney Danna, happy Tuesday, everyone. Ayun, oo.
Emily.
Mabuhay ka, ha?
Naka-all caps
Mabuhay.
ka.
Hindi. Hindi, yan yata ang kanyang, ano, how would you call this? Yung kanyang, ano ba, signature? Ano ba, parang ano niyan eh? Yung kanyang, oo.
Yeah.
Oo, yan. So,
Signature yan ng kanyang ano. Yeah,
Oo.
mark.
oo, mark niya, oo.
Style and
Ano ba
mark,
tawag
yeah.
doon? Oo, yan. So, Emmeline, mabuhay ka, no? Si Virginia Elona, ayun. Good evening, Sonny, and to our beauty and brains lawyer, no? Attorney Danna Quinto. Ayun, mabuhay, Legal Action Advice
Mabuhay.
Corner.
Thank you.
Blessed full spring. Stay safe. Stay safe to all. Ayun.
Oh, yeah. Thank
Ayun,
you,
kompleto pala eh.
Virginia. Maraming salamat
Thank you,
po.
Virginia. Mabuhay ka, Virginia, ha?
Mabuhay din po. Yeah.
Kailan ka
And
darating
blessed
dito?
spring.
Nasa ano yan? Nasa
Blessing.
Sweden yan.
Nasa Sweden ba si Virginia? Wow.
Oo, yes, nasa Sweden. Mabuhay ka, Virginia.
Mabuhay.
Mabuhay, ha? And Emmeline Rafael, syempre, is greeting us, no? Dito sa... Uy, nag-YouTube siya. Nagyayabang. Mayabang tong si Emmeline
May-
talaga, no? Dahil from
May YouTube.
Facebook, nag-YouTube siya. Bumati siya. Good evening,
Good
Sonny
evening.
and Attorney Danna.
Pag may profile picture sa YouTube, hindi lang basta-basta kasi minsan ano lang 'yun, 'di ba? Yung parang yung
Yes.
first letter ng ano, may
Oo.
profile picture talaga.
Saan siya maganda, Attorney? Para napapag-usapan lang
Pareho.
natin kagandahan. Ito,
Pareho.
saan siya? Sa
Parehong-
Facebook o sa YouTube? Anong mas maganda sa kanya?
Parehong maganda. Parehong very gorgeous. So, yeah. Pareho.
Mas-
Ibang ano lang, kumbaga ibang smile lang eh. Ibang
Oo.
kagandahan
Pero gusto ko sana, ma-suggestion ko lang, Emmeline, baka ibalik niya yung dating profile pics niya na wala tong kulay, yung parang may bilog na blue, Attorney.
bilog?
Oh, parang hindi mo nakikita yung itsura niya eh. Parang natatakpan. Oo, parang sa Flores de Mayo may hawak na gano'n, yung parang floral
Ano
na.
ba tawag doon?
Oo, di ba yung ginaganon yung parang hinahawakan dalawang side na may
May
parang
tawag po
flower?
doon eh. Oo,
ganun
may
ba?
tawag po doon sa Flores de Mayo. May tawag doon eh.
Hindi ko masyadong kabisado, pero alam ko yung hinahawakan nila, di ba? Pag merong nakatayo
Meron
sa
po,
gitna,
opo.
Flores de
Opo,
Mayo.
yeah.
Ayun.
De Mayo na next week ata eh.
Oh, hindi, teka muna, ano ba? Uy,
Ayun
ano
na.
ka? Attorney, kilala mo ba si Joan Lorenzana?
Hindi po. Bakit po?
Hindi, singer yan. One of our, maraming naging hit song sa Pilipinas yan. Tumawag sa akin kanina, nagulat ako eh. At,
Wow.
oo, nagkakamustahan. So, i-google ho niyo, Joan, J-O, tapos capital A-N-N-E, Lorenzana, no? Maraming mga hit songs yan.
Lorenzana.
Joan, J-O, tapos A, one word yun, A-N, pero capital A, J-O, tapos capital A, double N-E, Lorenzana. Ayan. OPM artist yan.
Ayun. Ay, songs.
Oo. Ayan, so kausap natin kanina yan, si Joan Lorenzana.
Ayan.
So hopefully
OPM. Yeah.
OPM, yeah. She had so many hit songs noon.
Yes.
I remember,
Yeah.
may jazz yata na nagpunta ng US, pero ano yan, OPM songs yan, pop songs sa Pilipinas. Naalala ko, DJ pa ako nung batang-bata. Halos ano yan eh. So parang, bata pa nung panahon ko na yun. Bata pa. Ayan. Edgar Duway.
Ano naman?
Bata pa nung panahon na yan, attorney, no? Ito si Edgar Duway, bumabati sa atin, attorney.
Ayan.
Oo. Pakibasa nga, mababasa mo ba yan, attorney?
Magandang gabi sa inyong lahat mga taga-subaybay, lalong-lalo na sa attorney ng bayan, attorney DQ D Ninja at legendary Sonny Laragan. May
Such a delightful
Not
sight.
first.
That's such a delightful sight. Pero attorney ninja kasi attorney, they saw you in your yung garb mo,
In
yung
my
garb
shape,
na
yeah.
oo, ano ba tawag doon? Kimono, ano ba tawag doon?
Gi po.
Gi.
Gi ang tawag.
GHI,
GI.
GYI.
No, GI lang.
GI, gi. Oh, which means uniform.
Uniform pa, yeah.
Wow.
That's it. Yan yun na.
Attorney di ninja, oh, bino mo. Tawag sa
Ganda.
attorney. Wow,
Ganda na.
talaga.
Dawin. Thank you,
Okay lang.
Edgar.
Edgar, thank you very much. Mabuhay sa iyong pagbati. No?
Salamat.
Ayan. Ito, sa Facebook naman. O yan, kamukha na sinasabi mo. J
Juliet.
lang minsan, no? Ay, walang
Yun,
photo, no?
oo.
Ayan.
Pa-profile picture ka naman, Juliet. Good evening, Sonny and Attorney Danna. Happy Tuesday, everyone. Happy Tuesday, Juliet.
Ayan, mag-message ka sa amin, ano, via Facebook, Juliet, nang sa ganun ay makita natin. Okay. Attorney, ano ang di-discuss natin? May di-discuss si Attorney. Ito yung, ito na yan, ha? Ito ang ating i-discuss mo ngayon for tonight. Ayun.
Yes.
Yan, misconceptions about matrimonial finances during divorce. Kasi may mga tatlong components yan, di ba? May pwede na yung pag-usapan yung di ba? Yung pera, di ba? Yung sa bata, marami pa, di ba? Tatlong bagay yan. Ano nga uli yun, Attorney?
And then the divorce
itself,
the
oo.
divorce itself.
Ayan,
Na-proud ako sa'yo, ha? Na-proud ako sa'yo,
May
Mr. Laragan, ha?
Oo,
Nakakatawa.
Andiyan pa yung mga notes ko, Attorney. Ako, medyo na ako-complicate ang aking ano. Pero lumilinaw, no? Ma-complicated na lumilinaw.
Na lumilinaw. That's good. And yun naman yung gusto natin, eh.
Diba?
Mabigyan sila mabigyan ng knowledge, ng awareness, yung mga kababayan natin dito, na kahit bago pa sila pumunta sa abogado, whether ako, whether somebody else, na meron na silang, initial na kaalaman para alam nila kung ano, hindi nila ma-feel na, ay, hindi ko talaga alam, I'm overwhelmed, o nalulunod ako sa legalese, sa legal technicality, so that they have that understanding, especially sa ganitong napaka-stressful na sitwasyon sa buhay nila. So, remember last year, misconceptions. Last year, we had this series of misconceptions, 5 misconceptions about a lot of things, about contracts, about prenup, isa sa mga favorites natin. So we're gonna go back slightly to that topic,
Yes.
kasi nakakatawa yan, eh. Nakakatawa isipin ko, ano yung, from my experience, ano yung ay, ganun pala, Attorney Danna, ganun pala, hindi pala yun, or hindi ko pala pwede gawin yan. So we're about to it's just 5 misconceptions. Nice and easy dahil galing fasting tayo. So nice and easy, steady. 5 misconceptions about matrimonial finance, or yung tinatawag natin financial dispute during divorce. So a bit about matrimonial. So when you're talking about finances, we always go back to those 3 elements. So pag nag-divorce, ano yung 3 element na naiisipin mo na kailangan mong ayusin? Bata, yung pag-diborsyo nyo talaga, yung pag-undo ng marriage nyo. And the third one is dividing up your matrimonial finances. So most of the time, yung pangatlo na yon, yung finances na yun, dun talaga nag-aaway, dun talaga nagkakagastosan sa abogado. And by the time they come to us, clients come to us, normally they have this mga preconceptions, mga notions about legal practice, about ano yung nabasa nila or napanood nila sa YouTube, napanood nila sa pelikula, nakita nila sa blogs or sa mga wiki or how to do divorce in 10 minutes. And then they come to us with yun ang expectation nila na mangyayari. And sometimes, hindi yun ang totoong nangyayari o ang tamang approach sa kaso na to. So, let's start with number 1. This is one of the biggest misconception about dividing kung ano yung matrimonial finance. Remember, this is about matrimonial, meaning you were married and then now you want to get divorced and you have to divide your matrimonial properties. So, unang sinasabi, unang daing ng mga kliyente ko normally, ako naman nagbayad ng lahat Ako naman ang nagtrabaho, ako nagbayad ng mortgage, ako yung nagbayad sa wedding namin, ako yung nagpadala sa Pilipinas, ako yung nagbayad sa sa tuition ng bata. Bakit ko kailangang i-share? Bakit mas maliit? Bakit 50-50 ang umpisa? Bakit hindi pwedeng kunin ko yung kung ano yung nilagay ko dun sa family na to? Bakit bakit kailangan ko siyang bigyan ng spousal maintenance? Bakit ko siya kailangan tulungan? So that's one of the biggest things, Filipino man o hindi, in my experience, about circa 11 years of experience in this industry, mostly that's the first sort of misconception. Isa sa pinaka kailangan namin i-clarify sa mga client. This is not about taking what you put in. Hindi ito magkakalkula kayo, ay, noong 1981, ito yung kinontribute mo, therefore ito yung tatanggalin sa'yo. 1982, ito yung kinontribute mo. It doesn't work like that. So remember, in the past episodes, we talked about Section 25 factors, kung ano yung titingnan ng korte. Yes, it will talk. It will see if kung ano, on a broad view, titingnan kung may mga special contributions over and beyond the contributions. But generally, hindi ganyan yung approach ng court. Hindi sasabihin ng court, no, ikaw, ito yung nilagay mo sa, ikaw wala kang makukuha kasi pinalaki mo lang ang mga bata. It doesn't work like that. The reason being is that the court would approach it na, especially with long marriages, that this is a joint enterprise. That both of you would have come into the relationship with the intention of building a life together, with the intention of pulling your resources together. Na yung isang tao would go out, the one spouse would go out to work, and the other spouse would take care of the children, and both are equally valuable, so that yung dalawang parties could enjoy the best of both worlds, having a family and also building up their family property or matrimonial pot na tinatawag. So the court recognizes that contribution is not just monetary contribution. It could be contribution in terms of raising a family, contribution in terms of looking after the house. So the reason why somebody is able to go and work, say, 6 days a week, and still have a family life, still is a father, still is a mother, and is able to go home to a nice home, is because somebody else, the other spouse, gave up maybe a career in order to take care of the family. So yung contribution na, kaya hindi pwede na itali yung mga monetary contribution lang dahil may iba-ibang contribution din yung bawat partido. So that's number one na tinitingnan ng korte. In terms of na tinitingnan ng korte na hindi ganun ka-restricted yung tinitingnan ng korte. Also, hindi lang contributions yung i-consider ng korte. As we know from Section 25 factors, they also consider income, resources, current and future, as well as kung ano yung responsibilities ng partido. So whether one parent would have to look after the children and the other parent would only have contact with the children. The takeaway with this, ang summary nito is, hindi lang dahil ikaw yung breadwinner ng family that you get back kung ano yung nilagay mo sa mortgage o pinundar mo dahil mataas ang sweldo mo or dahil you were the only one working. It doesn't work like that. Mas broad yung consideration ng court. It will look at all of these things, but it doesn't necessarily mean na ikaw yung nag-contribute that you will get out of it kung ano yung kinontribute mo dun sa marriage and dun sa family. So just be mindful of that principle of matrimonial law in the UK. So that's number one. Number two, ito yung mostly, I would say, I think mostly Filipino, dahil I think there is a law in the Philippines that actually penalizes this. But also sometimes dito din mga other clients ko would actually say, well, it would have to count as something. So adultery is irrelevant sa matrimonial finances. So the misconception is that pag may isang tao na nag-affair, that it would have to be penalized sa hatian ng pera. dapat may penalty. And siya yung cause ng breakup ng relationship. Di ko naman ginusto na hatiin yung buong pinundar namin eh. Bakit? Why do I have to sacrifice? Why do I have to take the brunt of it? Yun ang parating tinatawag, parating dinadaing ng mga kliyente ko. Why is it na siya na yung nagka-affair, siya na yung nagka-mistress or nagkaroon ng someone else? Why do we have to suffer? In matrimonial finances, the real cold truth is that it's irrelevant. Adultery is irrelevant. It doesn't have anything to do at all to matrimonial finances. So that's the short and straight answer. Is you can say that as a background dun sa the second part dun sa tatlong element, which is ano yung behavior na nag-cause ng irretrievable breakdown when you talk about the actual yung pagdidivorce, actual undoing the marriage. But in terms of finances, absolutely irrelevant. So nothing to do at all with the finances. So let's make that clear. Hindi ka ipipenalize. On the other hand, hindi mo rin pwedeng gamitan if the other party committed adultery. So that's number 2. That's misconception number 2 and clarification number 2. Now, number 3 is a sort of a naughty misconception. Sometimes people think na, pag hinide nila yung assets, pag they tried giving it another to another person's name and or bigay nila sa pinsan nila or best friend nila yung asset, is that they can get away with it, or pag hindi nila sinagot yung disclosure, if they just don't engage sa court proceedings, hindi sila mag-turn up, or they don't answer the questions, they don't answer the Form E. We talked about Form E before, the disclosures properly, that they can get away with it. Not true. Yung dating mentor ko, when I was starting, he used to tell me, and you know what, Danna? You know what's the most powerful court in the land here in the UK? Family court. They can order anything. They can order to get you in prison kung hindi mo na-disclose properly yung assets and liabilities mo. That's what we talked about last time. They can even order or determine na yung isang asset held by a third party is a resource available to you. Hence, liliit yung actual na division, yung porsyento mo dun sa asset yung mag-asawa. So the court might say, you know what, may malaki ka ng trust dyan eh. So, konti na lang nitong bahay, nitong family home yung mapupunta sa'yo. Kasi meron ka naman dyan, no? And halata naman na sa'yo yan. And the court can do that. The court can do that. And it's very, very powerful. The lesson here, misconception, and you try to be clever, people try to do lots of shenanigans, lots of people would try to circumvent, itatry nila na tusuhin yung sistema. Unfortunately, the system has been there for a very long time. Yung sistema ng full disclosure nito, it's very there. And talagang maiinis ang korte kung itatry yung linlangin ang korte with your assets and liabilities. What we always say to the client, present us with the full truth, the full and frank disclosure of everything so we can do our jobs properly. We can have arguments, we can present submissions, na bakit, kung gusto mong sabihin mo na you're entitled to a bigger percentage, that's fine, we can make submissions as to that. But you can only really present your case so well if it is backed up by full and frank disclosure. So, it's not worth it kung itatry nyo i-hide yung asset, mahanap din, or pag hindi nyo dinisclose sa court, the court will just determine na, ano what, according sa lifestyle mo, sa'yo yung property na yan, or sa'yo yung business na yan, and I will just say na sa'yo yan. Kahit na hindi sa'yo talaga, kahit nasa pangalan ni Juan de la Cruz na pinsan mo yan, it's irrelevant. The family court is absolutely quite powerful dun sa discretion nila na yun. So that's misconception number 3. Misconception number 4 is a bit, it's quite funny sometimes. The lengths people will go to. Na nasaktan, you can understand kasi emotional ang mga tao, nasaktan kasi nga, sabi na ni Danna, nag-affair na yung asawa ko, hindi pa rin, wala, irrelevant pa rin sa finances eh. Masakit yun. Masakit na sila na nga, yung kabila na nga yung nag-2-time, sila pa yung makakakuha ng mas malaking porsyento sa divorce. So that's, it's sometimes when people are pushed in a corner, people do silly things, kumbaga. Minsan, pagpunta yung client, sasabihin, and this is according to a case, nakita ko to. This is a reported case. Isa yung sa reported case na isa sa prinsipyo ng what we call illegally obtained documents. Yung client, nakita ko yung bank statement ng kabila na hindi naman, sabi niya, ano lang, tatanungin mo, paano mo nakuha? Paano mo nakuha? Tapos, ngingiti lang yung client. Sasabihin na, parang secret. It doesn't work that way. So, you cannot use illegally obtained documents. So, may isang case na, I think, ata talaga, sinira yung safe or yung lalagyan ng cabinet, locked documents, locked cabinet na andun yung documents, talagang sinira. And you can't use that. We can't use that. Minsan may lying around yung mga, kasi di ba dati mag-asawa kayo, so you probably were used to your bank statements lying around there, yung mga dokumento nyo lying around there. Kung andon, it's still a gray area. I would say na it would be best na hayaan mo sila ang mag-disclose. Definitely, kung nakalock yung lalagyan ng filing cabinet, kung nasan yung mga financial disclosures, wag po nating buksan. Wag po nating wag po nating sirain yung lock at para ibigay sa abogado natin yung mga dokumento. Hindi rin po namin magagamit yun. We have to give it up. And that has happened in previous circumstances, previous cases na i-confirm ng abogado, they came across the document, binigay ng client nila, they refused to read it, and they gave it back to the other side. So, and they confirmed that destroy nila yung copy nila. That actually happens. And sa UK, we are very strict about that because pwede po kami matanggalan ng lisensya or we can get absolutely criticized by the court if we don't follow that rule. So the case surrounding that, just for your records, it's called, just in case masabi ng future lawyer nyo, it's called Immerman case about illegally obtained documents sa divorce. And the least one is actually hindi na misconception, it's more of a common, sometimes siguro again dahil emotional siguro yung mga yung kliyente or talagang nasaktan, ito yung sinasabi nila na gusto nilang, they want the other side to pay for this, to pay for the pain. They want to win. And they want to be, because they're the right party. It's not really about winning, misconception. The thing with the divorce is, it's not about winning. It's not about kung sinong mas nasaktan or less nasaktan, sino yung mas, hindi siya about kung sinong deserving or least deserving. It's not about who's right. It's really about making sure na yung dalawang tao who used to live under one roof, or who's now looking at the future, a separate future together, is able to move forward to a better life in a fair manner. So the job is to get them to a better position, because that position that they were in, magkasama sila, obviously it wasn't good, kaya nga sila nag-divorce. It's an imperfect situation, hindi nila gusto, it's an uncomfortable position. They say divorce is one of the most traumatic things that you can do in your life, and your divorce settlement is probably one of the biggest financial decision that you're going to make as an adult. So our job is not just about, it's not about winning at all. It's about making sure that you're going to end up with a settlement that can get you a new start in a fair manner, that can get you to a better position, that you can live with. That especially kung may anak pa kayo, that you do that in a manner na na kaya nyo pa rin maging co-parents together. It's not all the time na nangyayari yun. Sometimes, people really fall out. Talagang nagkakaanuhan talaga. Malaki talaga yung sakit na nangyari, na nadulot sa isa't isa, that they can't really see each other face to face. But the job for family lawyers, it's for us, especially siguro yung generation namin, we're being encouraged for parties to reach a constructive resolution, most especially if children are involved. So it isn't about winning; it is about getting to a solution, getting to a fresh start, getting to a settlement that you can live with, that is fair for you and for the family and for the children. So that's really it. That's 5 misconceptions about matrimonial finances or financial dispute resolution during divorce.
Okay, nako, medyo interesting yan, attorney, no? Ano ba yung habang nag-discuss, may discuss ka, may mga pumasok sa isip ko eh. Ano yung sinasabi mo ba na yung bang, sabi mo, yung secret, ano ba yun, yung pagka nakakuha ng ebidensya ng tinatagong wealth ba? Yung bang sinasabi mo, attorney, na hindi admissible yon? Paano gano'n ba? Hindi naman.
It's very hard, that thing, because kung illegally obtained, kumbaga nakalagay, di ba? Sometimes hindi pa magdi-divorce na sila pero they're still living under the same roof. That happens. They're still waiting for things to, one is yet to move out. So when you're living with someone for the last 20 years, alam mo kung saan niya tinatago yung mga dokumento niya, di ba? So I think there was a case na talagang binuksan yung lock na cabinet. And it's not just about hidden wealth. It's about documents. The fact na yung
dokumento ng lalaki.
Dokumento
Ang
ng
nagbukas yung babae.
lalaki or ng other party. I can't remember kung babae o lalaki yung nagbukas. But let's say party A and party B, husband and wife. I can't
Okay,
remember.
husband and wife. Okay, husband and wife. Okay.
Husband and wife. So this is illegally obtained documents. And this is not just sa family court, ha? Sa civil court, ganun din. So remember when you're recording, kung hindi mo nakuha yung consent ng kabilang tao na nire-record mo siya, inadmissible yan sa korte. You can't, hindi yan pwede gamitin na ebidensya.
Ay, yung sikreto, ni-record mo, hindi po pwede yun?
Hindi pwede po yun. Hindi po pwede yun.
Hindi, kaya nga hinuhuli mo, di ba yung mga pelikula sa TV na napaamin because na-tape, di ba? Na-tape ng ano. Hindi po pwede.
Please, we're talking about civil court, ha? Not criminal court.
Civil court.
Civil and family court. So civil and family court. Sa criminal, obviously, may sarili silang procedures. They have their buy-bust operation na nakalagay yung mga... But this is civil court. This is civil court and family court.
Ito, lasing. Teka na, kung lasing na lasing, tapos biglang kunento lang, gano'n ba? Tapos parang out of the blue, nasabi?
It's fine. Kunuento niya. Hindi, ang tinatawag natin is kung ni-record. Kung kunuento niya.
Hindi, kung ni-record. Lasing nga, attorney, hindi niya alam, no? Ni-record na lang yung ano. Dahil, ito ha, ebidensya, meron ka palang property gano'n, meron tinago kang gantong asset or, wealth or anything.
Ano po yung tanong?
Kung yun, admissible, ni-record ko dahil, siyempre, lasing yung tao, tapos ayaw talaga niya i-disclose, malaman nung kanyang partner na meron siyang property, siguro out of the blue, lasing na ano, na-record ni other partner.
Wala mo walang consent walang consent.
Wala pa rin, hindi pa rin po pwede. As long as walang consent, attorney.
Kasi wala naman siyang, lasing siya he can't give or she can't give consent, diba? Lasing siya. So they would have to be full consent dun sa pagbigay niya ng ebidensya. So that's the thing.
May kaso sa Pilipinas I don't know if you've heard of it. Yung dating Comelec chairman, hindi ko alam kung tumakbo na sa US or nagtatago o hindi pa bumabalik ng Pilipinas. Si Comelec chairman Andres Bautista, Sila nung kanyang
Okay.
asawa, estranged wife niya, Patricia ang pangalan. Sa Pilipinas to. Ano to? Scandal to. I don't know if you've heard of this. So, hindi satisfactory yung kay doon sa babae. Yung parang siguro yung agreement nila nung kasi maghihiwalay eh. Oo,
Yeah.
naghihiwalay na actually, hindi na nagsasama. So, pumunta kay President Duterte. Sinabi niya meron yang balikbayan box full of documents at kung ano-ano pa na parang ng mga kanyang mga hidden wealth or kung ano pa man yan.
Yeah.
Yun, mga ganun. Ang kwento yata, hindi ko lang kumatandaan, ang kwento yata ni, parang pumasok si Patricia sa bahay. Parang, alam mo na, pinasok yon, parang illegally obtained dahil hindi na yata nag-stay doon yung babae. So yun, kunyari, let's just say si Narbasa, si Andres Bautista and wife Patricia rito sa UK setting.
Yeah.
Pinasok ni estranged na sila although nagdi-divorce sila.
Yeah.
Pinasok ngayon ni by force ni Patricia yung bahay ni sa Kensington o kaya diyan sa Bedford. Halimbawa, pinasok ngayon sa bahay. Nakita yung mga documents. That's illegally obtained, attorney?
It's illegally obtained. Kasi pinasok niya eh. Wala naman siyang
Hindi.
ano eh. Wala
Talaga?
naman siyang, yeah, it's illegally obtained. If she knows about
Oo.
those wealth, kung alam niya, edi there's a proper venue to raise it, which is a questionnaires, yung disclosure na stage, and then reviewing the disclosure. May proper and say, sasabihin mo, oh, remember that, you mentioned this, and it would have to be dealt with in evidence. You can't just go into somebody's home illegally and obtain documents illegally. Bawal po yan.
Okay. Pero di ba yun ang essence?
That's not how you
So ang
prove it.
kasalanan, yung kasalanan halimbawa ni Andres, kunyari, UK citizen sila, ang kasalanan ni Andres, magiging kasalanan ni Andres pag hindi niya dinisclose yun, ganun ba? Pag
Correct.
eventually
Correct.
dahil are we
Absolutely.
talking of, is there a number of years? Walang prescription yan? For example, 10 years after, 5 years after, na-discover ni Patricia, uy, may properties pa, habulin ko yun. Pwede pa yun, attorney?
I mean, kung alam niya naman, there's a reason. There's a reason bakit pupunta si Patricia dun sa ano, 'di ba? Sa bahay ba? Kasi alam niya. She would have an inkling. That's the reason. That's mostly husband and wife mostly alam yung yung nangyayari. Kung hindi alam, then your lawyer would really have to look at the disclosures. And normally may paper trail yan because they're using the money, aren't they? They would move the money from one to another. So you have to follow the money. So almost para kang investigator. And kung talagang kung komplikado yung business structure, the way the monies are being dealt with, you can ask the court for a forensic accountant. Tingnan mo nga. And sabi ko sa'yo, Mr. Laragan, if you say, look, eto si Andres, tingnan mo, may private jet, may umaalis, may dalawang Lamborghini, may ganito, and ang declared income niya lang, ganito. Do you think, Your Honor, na tama yung disclosure niya? So there's a lot of ways to challenge that insufficient disclosure. So kahit imperfect yung dokumento, the court can infer. That's the wording na ginagamit. The court can make inferences. Pag alam nila, si Andres, yung ginagamit, the lifestyle says that he has access to this wealth. So you can say that, and the court can, even with those imperfect documents, make a finding na hindi lang yun yung wealth niya, that actually he has access to a wider sum of money. So it's very interesting in an English law. Kasi kahit hindi niya pangalan, sasabihin sasabihin ni Andres, ay hindi sa akin yan, ano lang yan, a fund yan, trust fund yan ng best friend ko na, sometimes I'm being given this and that. And the court would say, no, actually, we don't accept that. Nakikita namin sa lifestyle mo, nakikita namin sa the way you use those funds, that you have free access to that. So even though it isn't in your name, but because of this particular provision sa English law, and actually a particular case, it's called Thomas and Thomas and Press and Petrodol, we would say that is part of your resources. So hindi restricted yung korte dito nasabihin lahat ng property or lahat ng ari-arian must be in your name to be considered as your property. That's family law for you, and that's the reason why we say family law is one of the most powerful law in the land,
Okay.
if not the most powerful.
Attorney, one of the misconceptions yung sinasabi mong adultery kanina, no? So parang minsan parang bang pagka dito sabi mo baliwala yan. Sa Pilipinas it's a big deal, no? Pero dito walang epekto yan. So halimbawa si Andres, example natin kunyari mga nasa UK sila, no? Si Patricia nahuli ni Andres na merong adultery, merong ibang may boyfriend o may alam mo na, may affair. So sinasabi mo siyempre na hindi porke sabihin ni Andres, ikaw Patricia, meron ka ng nagkasala ka adultery o wala ka mahahabol sa akin. Makakahabol pa rin. Pero on the other hand, mayaman yung maraming pera siguro, milyonaryo din yung naging boyfriend ni Patricia. Pwede ba balikan ni Andres na teka mo na, huwag ka na mag-claim sa akin. Kasi dito ba sa UK, pati mga boyfriend, mga partner, sinasama rin ba sa sa parang...
Hindi yung fact na may boyfriend siya ang sinasama ng court. How the court would approach it is...
properties ng
kung serious and stable na ba yung relationship? Is it long-standing? In such a way na yung resources nung bagong partner would be a future resource ni Patricia. So it's not the fact na may karelasyon siya, it's the fact na meron ng katuwang si Patricia. That's the question. Serious and stable ba yung relationship? Normally 6 months.
Kunyari, kung serious and relationship, let's say kung serious ba?
Planning to marry.
Mangyayari ba? Parang yun, makaka-apekto sa makukuhang pera ni Patricia?
Correct. Mangyayari yun. On the basis, hindi sa adultery ha, kasi minsan, hindi na-commit ng, I'll put it another scenario, hindi nag-commit ng adultery si Patricia, si Andres ang nag-commit ng adultery. Pero nakipag-break si Andres kasi it didn't work out. Si Patricia nag-move on, gumanda, mas gumanda palalo, nakahanap ng bilyonaryo.
Oh, okay.
And fiancé na, sabi na, ayoko, I don't care, magpa-propose na ako sa'yo. Kahit hindi pa tapos yung financial dispute resolution mo. So, talagang nakalagay na doon. May engagement ring na si Patricia. Andres, kahit na siya yung nag-adultery, and Patricia cannot say na, ikaw Andres, hindi pwede sabihin na Patricia, na si Andres wala nang makukuha kahit na nag-2 times. But, Andres can actually say ngayon na Patricia, yung future resources mo, mas malaki na. Kasi engaged ka na sa bilyonaryo. Imagine that.
So hahati ako ngayon doon sa makukuha mo. I-quantify natin kung magkano. Akala ko hahati. Akala ko i-quantify natin. Oo.
Hindi siya hahati. Pero pwedeng bumaba yung makukuha ni Patricia. Pwedeng bumaba kasi mas malaki na yung income, future resources ni Patricia. Potentially, mas malaki na yung future resources niya. Kasi nga, Andres would say, well, ako kailangan ko ng accommodation. Ikaw hindi mo na kailangan ng bahay. Ano na, dami-daming bahay ng fiancé mo, 10, daan-daan bahay niya. Ako wala akong bahay. I need the whole house to myself.
Ayun. So Andres pwedeng
ang weird nun, the thing is that si Andres yung nag-commit ng adultery. But it's irrelevant. It's irrelevant. You can see the distinction. Si Andres na commit ng adultery did not matter. But si Patricia na may bagong fiancé, strong, stable, and almost permanent relationship, has this future resources, access to this future resources by being a dependent of a billionaire. So imagine the difference on those two scenarios.
Pero attorney, hindi pa kasal yan. Parang the divorce is ongoing. There's just a prospect of marriage with the billionaire boyfriend. Yeah. Pwede nilang pag-usapan pa rin yun?
Pwede nilang pag-usapan if they're
kasi hindi ba pwedeng sa abogado, kunyari ako si attorney Laragan for Andres, sabihin ko, ano ba tag dito? Nawala tuloy yung sabihin ko. Hindi, nakalimutan ko na, attorney. Sayang, nakalimutan ko lang.
It's okay.
Baka bumalik lang sa akin.
Hindi pwede pa naman mag-break yung mga yan. But at the moment, at this particular point in time, they this the partnership is the relationship is so strong na engaged na sila, and that's good. And cohabitation nga eh, hindi nga kailangan maging fiancé sila kung cohabitation na. It's not about na it's the fact na kung nagko-cohabit na sila,
Okay.
na it's looking like they're gonna share resources. That's enough.
Okay, attorney, pagbati natin and some questions. Alam ko kasi ikaw at least parang alam kong medyo syempre 16 hours yung gutom mo, no?
It's okay. It's okay, no problem. Sige,
Okay.
go for it. No problem, walang problema.
Ito si Emily Rafael, pabitiin lang natin kasi attorney, alam mo naman to. Ko talagang love na love tayo nito, no? Let's ito pagbati ni Attorney Rafael, Attorney Rafael, Attorney Emily na naging Attorney Emily ka na. Sabi niya, thank you Attorney Danna for the kanina yung compliments. I love it kahit anong sinasabi mo. Sonny, tungkol sa akin, okay lang sa akin. Masaya naman ako. Always. No, masaya. We love you naman. Alam mo naman yan. Lambing ko lang sa iya, no? Talaga namang, sabi nga,
Carinyo brutal.
ganun. Sabi ng estudyante, ma'am, ba't ako po lagi inuutusan na lang niyo? Ang dami ko ng mga kaklase, ako lang. Alam mo, sekreto lang natin, paborito kita, kaya ganun. Kaya ikaw lagi ko, ganun, ma'am, pwede mo pa kayo magpalit na lang ng paborito? Wag na ako. So, ayan. We love you, Emily, no? Mahal na mahal natin si Emily. Uy, may tanong dito si, teka muna, ito na muna bago kay Edgar, no? Itong tanong attorney ito, may isang tanong dito. Basa nga itong tanong natin ito. Ayan. Alright. Ito, ayan, mula kay Inday. Ayan, si Inday.
Si Inday.
Oh, si Inday. Inday P.
Hindi
di
ko
pa
po
naging...
tunay.
Yeah, go ahead.
Ano pa?
Hindi, sabihin ko sana Inday Duterte sana pero Inday P pala ito. Inday P.
Baka mapagalitan tayo ni Pangulo.
Si Inday, si Inday P.
Masahin ko na Inday. Hindi ko pa tunay na pangalan ng Inday. Taga-Bohol po ako sa atin sa Pinas. Gusto ko lang pong itanong kung nagpautang po ako ng 5-6, pwede po ba akong i-report? Meron po kasi akong kaibigan na nangutang sa akin at ayaw magbayad. Panakot po niya na i-report daw ako sa police kung sisingilin ko po siya. Gusto ko na pong bayaran niya ako dahil kailangan ko na po yung pera. Masisingil ko ba siya o hindi? Inday, masisingil mo siya. So, we just talked about it. We figured out kung ilan yung percentage ng, about 20%,
5-6. Nagbigay umitong ng 5 pesos o 5 pounds, babalik 6 pounds. Parang 20% instant. Kunyari, kung 1 month lang babayaran, o di 20% in a month. Oh. 240% per annum yun. 240% per annum.
Ito naman sa as long as it was hindi mo naman ginagawa na parang sobrang negosyo yan, one off lang yan na kaibigan mo talaga, isang kaibigan mo pinahiram mo sa kagipitan, as long as alam niya, understood niya yung terms and conditions nyo at nasa maayos siya nakaisipan ng nag-agree siya ng inyong kontrata, that is a valid contract. The court will not get in the way of kung bad yung kumbaga overly bad yung naging terms and conditions. It depends, may potentially unfair terms. But kung talagang medyo sa tingin ng korte sa tingin mo medyo mataas lang yung interest, hindi naman yan ang na makukulong ka. It's not a criminal matter, first of all, and secondly, kung yan ang inyong that's what you agreed on, then that's fine. Pwede mo siya masingil. It's hindi kanya pwedeng i-report sa police dahil hindi naman yan. Now, it's different pag ginawa mong negosyo at parang financial, parang mortgage broker ka na, that's different kasi parang credit activity yan na madami kang pinapautang na parang naging negosyo mo na. If this is a domestic, parang social setting, pinahiram mo lang ang kaibigan na nalagay sa sticky situation, then that's fine.
dito nga may mga nagpapautang, hindi ko nababanggitin yung pangalan, no? Nasa 1,000 plus 2,000 percent, ha? 1,000 or 2,000% ang equivalent dito. Hindi ko nababanggitin at
Talaga?
yeah,
Wow.
oh. Off air babanggitin ko si attorney
Off
pag
air. Sige, off air. Off air na lang.
off air.
So, Inday,
Ayan.
okay lang
So
yan.
pwede na, okay lang kay
Ang lang,
Inday.
Inday, lagay mo sa, hanap ka ebidensya, lagay mo sa kontrata next time para talagang understood na kung magkano, ano talaga yung interest na babayaran at kung kailan babayaran. Yun.
Ayan, okay. Ito pakita ko lang yung si Edgar Duay nanonood sa atin sa sa show lang at nakakatuwa lang dahil malaking screen siya nanonood no sa atin.
Andiyan na naman siya dun sa magandang TV niya eh. Tingnan niya.
Oo nga. Asa na ba to? Oo nga. Sige, pakita natin sa ating mga viewers yung etong si Edgar nagpapakita siya na ito, attorney, ayan
Sige nga po.
Ayan
Ang kinakain.
Ano kinakain yan? Bakit may kumakain pa yan?
Ay, nag-ano siya ng ano niya.
Uy, may comics na pala. May comic strip si
cartoon.
ayan, yung ating bagong ano pangalan yan? Si Mary Grace
Ano
Francisco.
kinakain ni Edgar? Ano ba yan?
Ano
Yogurt
yan?
o
Oo nga,
ice
yogurt yan.
cream?
Oo nga, Balikan natin yan. Ano kaya yan? Okay. Anyway, ayan. So, yes, si Edgar. No,
Sorry. Lapit ko to. Hindi ko nakita.
Ay, di mo ba? Okay. Hindi mo nakita, attorney?
Kailangan medyo malabo po yung mata ko eh. So, kailangan ko.
Ayan tayo. Ayan. Kitang-kita
Ayan
tayo.
tayo.
Ayan.
Ayan
Ayan.
tayo.
Kita mo talagang...
Edgar, ano yan?
ano
ano
yan?
ba
Yogurt ba
yan?
yan? Ano bang kinakain mo, no? Edgar. Ayan. May tanong si Edgar. Sabi niya,
Edgar. Go for
ito,
it.
sabi ni, asa ba yung tanong ni Edgar? Ito, ang tanong ni Edgar ano yan? Patanong, saan na ba yan? Patanong, pwede bang summon, no? Ng UK law ang asawa na nasa Amerika para mas sustentuhan niya mga anak niya na nandito sa UK?
That's a very good question. Ang question yan is, so, normally, ang normal na ruta is CMS, Child Maintenance Services. Whether or not kaya nilang ma-enforce sa ibang bansa, that's a question. I'm racking my brains a very, very long time ago. I had a case na na ibang bansa yung tatay and may naiwan na arrears. So, nung andun siya, nag-build up yung arrears. So, hinahabol ng child maintenance services. They carried on with asking for what they call a liability order. Pero hindi nila ma-enforce. Yun yung importante kasi nasa ibang bansa, I think Australia or New Zealand, I can't remember. This is very, very long time ago. Now, doon nagkaroon ng epekto doon sa kliyente ko nung sabi niya, ay, kailangan ko bumalik. Sabi niya, nako, pagbalik ko, baka ma-serve ako ng and it will have an impact. So, we have to settle at that stage. So, ang long-winded answer dyan, Ed, is the CMS would still have to do the liability order. Halimbawa, kung hindi siya magbabayad, kung magko-continue pa rin, mag-build up yung arrears, magkakaroon ng parang judgment against that person. Now, what we know about life is life changes, and someone na dating nandito sa UK, pumunta sa Amerika, kung doon na siya forever, then okay, fair enough, baka hindi na, it won't matter. But at some point, people do come back. Lalo na kung andito yung mga anak nila, andito yung the rest of their family. And when they come back here, they will have a very hard time getting any credit or loan or a mortgage dahil meron silang liability order against them. So it might have an impact then. So that would be the only point na baka hindi ma-enforce habang nasa Amerika, but it would still carry on. The liability would probably still carry on, and it would keep carrying on until makabalik siya sa UK. So I would say still go for it.
So hindi mako-compel magbayad o habulin dahil nga ano no,
Interjurisdiction, yeah. Yeah.
walang jurisdiction pero magpa-pile up yung babayaran. Pero
Pile up yung
yung
babayaran.
yung arrears no na kumbaga mga kanyang sustento. Iyan ba, attorney, sabi mo nga, baka sakaling bumalik, nagbago ang mga circumstances, bumalik siya and wanted to build a new life dito, baka dun, pumalpak na naman siya, nagtatago siya, pumunta rito. Iyan ba, sabi mo, pag kumuha ng mga credit and so on and so forth, lalabas ba yan? Okay, so arrears na yun, halimbawa, gusto mong manggulo talaga, kasi hindi nagbabayad hindi nagbibigay ng sustento. May way ba sa dito sa sistema natin sa UK na parang ma-blot yan, magkaroon ng record or anything that will come up in the system? Diba, alam mo na yung mga, ano pa tawag mo sa mga...
Automatic po yung judgment, Mr. Laragan. Automatic po yung judgment na nakalagay sa Registry of Trust.
Really? So parang pagkakamuha ng anything yan, meron tayong tinatawag na pag gusto mo malaman yung credit rating mo, credit report mo, yung Experian, mga ganon-ganon, di ba? Lalabas yun?
Po yan.
Lalabas?
Automatic po yan. I'll tell you the system. So within 28 days, kung may judgment ka, you have to pay it within 28 days. Kung hindi, isi-send ng korte yung judgment na yun to what we call a registry of trust, which is a database of all the judgments in the UK. At doon tinitingnan ng Experian, ng ano pa nga ba yung...
So, okay pala.
Yep.
Hindi pala, walang magagawa. Okay, walang magagawa as far as jurisdiction, hindi niya mahabol. Pero, baka nga magbago. Pero di ba dito sa
The same din po to for civil, So, if you sue someone, doon din yun, pupunta din, nanalo ka, pupunta din yun sa Registry of Trust. Andun yun for 6 years. This is what we do, 6 years.
6 years lang. Pero ang problema na pagkatapos sa 6 years...
Liability order is longer, I think. Liability order is longer. I can't remember on the top of my head. It's potentially longer. But 6 years is a long time, Mr. Laragan. 6 years is a very long time.
Well, sana nga. Dahil yun na lang pinakapag-asa Wala nang way. Hindi naman pwedeng i-compel nga sa sa American bumalik dito. O maski bayaran, Hindi ba Oo.
Yeah.
Okay. Mango, papaya, passion fruit yogurt. Thanks for the answer. I will relay it to her. Nasa work kasi. At the moment, ang nagtanong, ang hirap talaga ng ganyan.
Yes, walang problema.
Ang hirap habulin ng di ba? Tinatakbuhan.
Yung sa akin nagkaroon talagang bago siya mag-landing sa UK. I have to clean it up bago siya mag-landing sa UK. So, yung pamilya niya,
umalis tapos
yung case ko po, nagkaroon siya ng liability order. Wala siyang, I won't mention any names.
Yeah, okay.
So, a long time ago, nasa base siya sa Australia, but then he wanted to go back. And, ang ano niya is, baka ma-stop siya, or if he applies, I think he wanted to rebuild a life here, so I can't remember. So he wanted me to deal with this, to settle the case beforehand bago siya bumalik. So bago talaga mag-landing sa UK, talagang
naayos naman. Okay naman. Okay na.
Nice fine.
It entailed him paying for something?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Tama, isa-settle mo May ano kayo. Tama.
And then making sure na wala na sa mga database, lahat ng So
susulatan mo yun, attorney. Please, take off. It's already been settled and so on and so forth. Did that require a court judgment o hindi na kailangan? Hindi na?
Iba po yun
Extra parte, di ba? Yung ex parte outside of the court, di ba kung tawagin natin sa
Yeah.
Meron ba rito gano'n, mga ex parte proceedings, ex parte
May
arrangements?
mga ex parte proceedings po dito. Now, the thing is that liability order is different with a judgment. Kasi minsan, ang tinatanong, maybe this is for, I'll speak about this in a broader term, because I've done a few of this. Minsan nagtataka sila, dahil na binayaran ko na, bakit nasa credit rating ko pa rin? Bakit nandun pa rin? Now, the problem is that if you miss that 28 days, sabi ko 28 days after the judgment, para talagang walang footprint dun sa credit rating mo. If you miss that, tapos nagbayad ka maybe 2 years later, andun pala siya, nakita ko sa Experian, may judgment pala dun. Nakita mo, sabi mo, bayaran ko na. Matatanggal, ang malalagay lang dun is ma-update. Andun pa rin yung judgment, pero ilalagay dun satisfied. Now we have a way to clean it up. We call it clean it up. Uh, but that would take setting aside the whole case. And it depends kung mag-agree yung kabilang partido. But there is a way of doing that. Kasi minsan mangyayari, di nila alam, may judgment sa kanila. Nag-apply ng mortgage. Sabi ng mortgage, we can't give you a mortgage. May judgment against you. And you said, well, nabayaran ko na. And the mortgage will say, well, nakalagay lang doon satisfied, but we're not gonna do that. So there is a way of undoing that, but it would be a case-to-case basis, depende sa mood ng kabilang partido. Mostly we've done okay, but I will talk about that in much more
okay, sige,
terms.
sige.
That is normal judgment debt sa civil. Liability orders are slightly different kasi liability orders are from government agencies. Medyo mas ano sila they are
Ano example ng liability orders, attorney? Ano example
yung
niya?
sa child maintenance services. Child
Okay.
maintenance services, yung mga sa sustento ng bata.
Yun ang liability or
you can
liability
get a liability
judgment.
Yeah. You can get a liability. And then civil judgment, yung CCJ na sinasabi mo, that's
CCJ,
it.
yeah.
I'll talk about that next time.
Sige,
Kung
next time.
paano
Pag-usapan natin. Oo.
There is a way of cleaning that up. Pero kailangan mong bayaran. Kailangan mong bayaran at kailangan kausapin kung sino yung nag-sue sa'yo. There is a way of cleaning it up.
Okay. Attorney, sige, may mga pagbati lang. Ito yung mga ating mga friends. Meron bumabati rito si Kavita Sherbert, pero...
Hi, Kavita!
Oo, Kavita lang ba to?
Kavita is the wife of my
Mentor.
former mentor. And
Ay,
my former boss,
Kavita
David
Sherbert.
Scheibert.
Ba?
And
Scheibert?
it was David Scheibert po. It was David's birthday on the 16th of April last
happy
Friday.
birthday.
So belated happy birthday.
Belated happy birthday, David. Yan, si Carla
I
Kavita
think naman
Scheibert.
exes.
Kavita XXO, yan.
lang.
Ayan, XXO. So, hello siguro, baka na, no? Hello, Kavita. How are you? Ayan, yan. Nga, about half an hour ago, no? James Corocoto. Ito, tumawag ba sa ito, si James?
I think so. I think
Hello, good evening.
siya
Yan.
siya ata yung nakausap ko nung isang araw, James. Yeah, yes, thank you sa advice. Good evening,
Hello.
James.
Good
Hi.
evening, Sir Sonny and Attorney Danna. Thank you, Attorney Danna, sa advice. God bless.
No
Hindi,
worries.
tumawag sa akin to. Sabi ko, sino ka ba? Sabi, ako po si James Corocoto. Lagi siyang nanonood, no? Lagi tayong sinusundan. Kaya lang, eventually, nung na-topic yata natin yung may nag-message na taga-France na may utang dito, masisingil pa ba niya? Parang na-encourage yata siya magtanong. Kaya nagtanong siya, no?
Okay.
Because of
Ano,
that, no?
nasagot
James,
na po yung
buhay,
tanong niya.
Uy,
Buhay,
taga ano yan?
James.
Taga saan ka ba? Greenwich ba? Greenwich, no? Filipino organization yan, no? Oo.
No worries, James.
Okay. Ito si Maricris Abulon. Ito yung taga-Iraq yata to, eh. So, binabati tayo. Good evening, Sir Sonny, Attorney Danna Quinto. Ayan, from watching from
Hey, Marie Chris.
Iraq. Ayun.
Galing. Wow.
Si Ma'am Carsola, ayan, si Ma'am Cora Carsola.
Ay,
Hello,
Ma'am
Sir
Cora.
Sonny. Attorney Lara, maligayang gabi ng Martes.
Ay, mash up namin ni Attorney Lara.
Oo.
Mash up. It's okay, Attorney Cora.
Attorney
Ma'am
Cora,
Cora.
attorney, mash up po. Asa na ba? It's
Mash up namin.
Attorney la.
Si
Dana,
Attorney
wala.
Cora.
Oo, to.
Si Ma'am Cora
Ayan.
atay nag-fasting eh.
Oo nga, si Ma'am Cora. Ikaw yata, Ma'am Cora, nagutom. Pareho sila ng photo ni ito hinahanap ni Attorney Duway tuloy at ni Edgar Duway pala siya, Attorney Duway.
Abogado na tayo.
Lahat abogado
Yun
na,
ang
no?
mangyayari, Mr. Laragan.
Oo.
One year pa nito, abogado na tayo lahat dito.
Well, lahat sumunod sa nasa yapak mo, attorney, no? We all followed your footsteps.
Sana may mga batang
Oh yes. They get inspired na.
I
Wow.
mean,
Nasa parents yan, Pagka sinabi nila, look at that, there's Attorney Danna, a very young lawyer, and now she's the managing partner of a law firm in Bedfordshire, no? Imagine mo, in the UK, no? Mataas na mataas ang posisyon yan. Imagine, simula lang, as a staff lawyer ngayon. Di ba? Managing, a partner. From this time you started, gano'ng katagal nyo bago na-promote ka as a head of litigation attorney?
I started as head of litigation pa. Yun po yung...
Yun na kagad.
head of-
Wow, okay.
Yun
Galing
po,
naman,
yun,
no?
yun po yung I was recruited to be the head of litigation.
Head of
And
litigation.
then,
Ayan.
yeah.
And then now, the managing partner, no? Ito, last question to attorney para may tayo. So, ito, from Mario S, no, attorney? Yan, pakibasa na ikaw na attorney, magbasa na yan.
Sige. Curious lang po ako, Attorney Danna. Pwede po bang mademanda ng negligence ang tenant kung sakaling masunog ang property kahit na hindi niya kasalanan?
Matagal
Mario,
na.
I told you, this is not the first time I came across a case like this. So, I don't think it's you, Mario. Hindi yata ikaw yung other case na to. So, Mario, it will be down to evidence kung ano kung pwede bang mademanda ng negligence ang tenant. It's both yes and no. It will depend on the evidence. The evidence ng isang, I think what they call it, an arson specialist or an expert in that sort of thing, would have to find out kung ano yung source ng fire. Ano yung nag-cause ng fire? Was it something else? Was it outside your control? Or was it due to, or not you, but was it outside the tenant's control? Or was it due to the tenant's, we call it untenant-like or negligent use of the property? For example, the tenant left the oven or ito yung parate. You left the oven open for a very long time, and that caused the fire. So that could be because of the tenant's negligence. Hindi tenant's negligence, naglanding yung isang firecracker nung Guy Fawkes night, naglanding sa flat, hindi mo naman kasalanan yon, turned into a fire. That's two different things.
Okay.
One, pwedeng mas demanda because it's attributable to the tenant's conduct. The second one, hindi kasi hindi attributable sa tenant's conduct. How do we find out? By experts' evidence.
Ayun. Pero kung ganyan, attorney, negligence halimbawa, ano hinahabol sa kanya for him to pay so that although I'm sure may insurance yung owner ng property para sa ganun hindi maikarga sa insurance niya yung liability. Siyempre magbabayad ng insurance, di ba? So expense yun.
Babayad
Let's
ng
say kung
insurance,
10,000 or 5,000.
landlord.
Okay. So yun ang reason kaya hinahabol na kung sakaling si Mario o kung sino man, siguro curious lang siya, parang hypothetical sa kanya. Yun ang mangyayari kapag ikaw ang direktang may gawa nun, negligent ka, ikaw pwede kang demanda, no? Siyempre dahil magbabayad ng insurance yan alam naman pabayaan niyang wala ka ng or abandon your property, no? Lalo na kung inaasahan ng landlord na income niya yan o pension pa nila yan o ano yan, no? Diba? Investment.
Absolutely.
So, ayan.
Yep.
Okay. So, bumabati sa atin si Rudy Ribroho, attorney. Binabati tayo.
Rudy from Belfast.
From Belfast.
Musta, Rudy and Mia and family. Musta?
Oo nga, pwede rin natin tawagin din si attorney Rudy Libroho dahil no? Lahat ng mga... Hindi kasi lahat kami na nanonood si attorney dahil love na love namin si attorney Danna Quinto kaya lahat kami attorney na rin, no? Or siguro boboto kay attorney. Ikaw ba, attorney, do you plan to run as a public office? Let's say, dyan sa inyo, di ba si Keith Starmer ng Labor, di ba, barrister yan dati. Si Tony Blair ba?
Margaret Thatcher is a barrister.
Barrister.
Yeah, Margaret.
Yung asawa niya, ni Tony Blair, Sherry Blair, di ba, parang judge ba? QC ba? Ano ba QC?
Yung mayor ng London. Yeah, mayor ng London po.
Yes,
si solicitor. Yeah.
Si pangalan to,
Sadiq Khan.
Sadiq Khan, maraming mga
The
abogado.
human rights lawyer. Madami pong madaming abogado na nag-graduate sa politika. Gumaduate sa I have a colleague who's actually, si Nasser, he's running, I think. He's running for election.
For London mayor?
Hindi po. Hindi po.
Akala ko London mayor.
Local election lang po. So, madami.
Okay.
Let's see. I don't know.
Ikaw ba, attorney, nakaboto ka na ba? Have you ever experienced voting here in the UK already?
Hindi pa po. Pero
Hindi ka pa?
Di pa nasa
Di pa.
electoral
Okay,
roll.
okay, okay.
Di
All
pa.
right.
Kaka-ano
Okay.
ko lang po eh. Kaka-citizen ko lang a
Okay,
few years
okay.
ago. So, join ko lang ng
Ah.
electoral roll.
Wow, ako
Yeah.
marami na ako eleksyon yata. Nakakailang eleksyon na ako. Yeah, yung sa Brexit, parang referendum naman yan, pero nakaboto na ako dyan. Sa London Mayor, bumoto na rin ako dati.
London Mayor, yeah.
Sayang. Gusto ko nun si Zach Goldsmith.
Si
Sayang.
Goldsmith. Si Zach Goldsmith.
Zach
yeah.
Goldsmith ako nun dahil kapitbahay
He was
ko
good,
na
huh?
yun eh.
He's really
Oo.
good. Zach Goldsmith. Journalist din po yan, di ba? Journalist.
Ay, hindi
si
ko alam
Zach
kung
Goldsmith.
journalist. Di ba MP yan na anak ni ano yun?
Before politics. Yeah, he's really good.
Was he journalist?
I read
Really?
about
Oh.
it. I'm
He's
not
really
sure,
good.
but I read about it.
Ang downfall lang niya, he was asked if he wants Indian movies yata, films. He had to say yes because the guy was asking, or the person, I don't know kung girl or guy, Indian. And so parang napayas siya. Tapos tinanong siya ngayon, ano specific films? Hindi niya masagot siya, dahil siguro hindi nga siya nanonood. Di ba? Na on the spot siya, parang kawawa naman
So,
sayang.
Tory ka. You're a Tory then.
Tory?
Conservative.
Hindi naman, I like him. I just like him. I
Yeah,
just
you
like
just
him.
like him.
I just like him. Oh, I like him. Gusto ko si Tony Blair before. So labor yun, di ba?
Yeah, he's labor. Yeah, he's labor.
Oo, and that's the reason why we have so many nurses around here because of the labor
Exactly.
government, no? Labor Party, dahil, di ba, they had to recruit a lot of nurses from
Sila
the
talaga
Philippines.
nun. Yeah,
Sila,
talaga.
oo,
The last
sila.
labor government. Sila yung nag-open up ng immigration.
Yes.
And then yeah, that's right.
Oo,
Yeah.
kasi naging flagship parang plataforma nila was yung NHS. And so, ayun, di ba, yung doon sila nanalo eh. Kaya ayun, dumami rin ng mga Pilipino dito.
Interesting yung ano natin dito. And yung mga Pilipino, there's a few Filipinos, the late Cynthia Barker, mayor of
yes,
Elstree and
oh.
Bournemouth. Yeah,
Oh.
yeah, the late Cynthia Barker. So maraming mga inspirational stories ng mga political ng Pilipino dito. So,
Oo, kaibigan natin, kaibigan ko yan si Cynthia. Oo, natutuwa nga ako diyan every time. Oo, may she rest in peace. Oo, nakakamiss, no? Pero mo, sayang, no? Yung napakabata,
grabe,
di
no?
ba? Napakabata,
bata
no?
pa po. Yeah.
And and of course, Gene Alcantara is a very good friend of ours, no?
And
Si
Gene
Gene,
Alcantara.
kami ang alam mo ba 'yon? Na kami ang mga pioneers ng itong tinatawag nilang NFID. European.
yeah.
Nakwento ko ba sa'yo? Tatlo kami na napunta sa this was back in 2000, anong year yun? 2012 or 13? And then there was this big gathering of Filipino leaders, sabi nila, no? In Europe, and it was held in Rome, sa Rome,
Wow.
Italy. 3 days
Yeah.
kami ron, 4 days kami ron. It was the best no? And I met all the leaders kaya nga, ayun nga, ang dami ko na-meet ng mga leaders from different parts of Europe. Kami tatlo ang representative ng UK, si Gene Alcantara, ako, at saka nakalimutan ko na yung kasama namin babae, babae yun eh. Nakalimutan ko na. But anyway, yeah, so kilala namin yung mga founding, kami yung mga founding members ng NFID, no? European
Galing. That's very
Network, diaspora, Filipinos in the diaspora or diaspora. Okay.
Yes.
Si Gene Alcantara, kami, dalawa, doon, no? So, mabuhay, Gene. Okay.
Mabuhay po kayo. Mabuhay.
Ayan, oy, ano to, si Edgar Duay, boto ka namin pag tumakbo ka, idol ka na talaga. Sino? si Danna, pag tumawag si Danna, ang place ba ni Mayor Cynthia malapit sa iyo, attorney?
Malapit po, Elstree and Bournemouth. Yeah. In the same train line, papuntang London. Yeah.
Ganun ba? Okay.
Mas malapit ako sa kanya noon. Nung nasa St. Albans po ako, 2 stops away lang po ako sa kanya.
Really?
So, yeah, 2 stops po ako. And I've met her sa Elstree and Bournemouth, I think a couple of times. So, absolutely brilliant.
I always tease her. Yan ang medyo endearing sa akin. Friend natin yan. When we ever would see each other, I tease her. No? Parang yung biro, no? Basta nakakatuwaan kami. So, sayang, no? Nakakamiss din, no?
Sayang,
Pero mo,
sayang.
ano yan? First Filipina mayor and first Filipina councilor dito sa United Kingdom. Si Danny Favor ang unang-una. And I was the first to interview Danny
Right.
Favor, no? For GMA.
Yeah.
Oo.
Ang
So,
galing, we're good.
ako rin ang
Very
unang
good.
nag-interview sa Pinoy Radio UK kay Danny. Nobody knew Danny Favor, no? Pero ngayon,
galing.
presidential awardee na siya, di ba? Si attorney.
Absolutely.
Kilala mo ba si Danny Favor?
I've read about him. I've read about
si
him.
Favor,
First mayor, diba? So the first,
First
ever
mayor, first councilor na Pinoy na dito sa United
Yeah.
Kingdom. Na
Ano
taga
naman yun?
Sussex. Ha?
Sussex president si
Sussex.
Danny.
Dalawa kasi Sussex, nalilito ako. May West, may East Sussex eh.
West, may East, may West East.
Oo,
yeah,
may West,
Sussex.
tsaka may East. Oo,
East Sussex.
marami.
Croydon, Horsham. I think West Sussex is Horsham. Mga ganun.
Puro,
Taga dun. Taga dun yung mga kaibigan ko.
Gano'n ba?
Parati po ako dun eh.
No, araw, have you heard of Have you heard of Sex Mo 1 sa Pilipinas?
Hindi ba? Sino
No,
ba?
but they changed the name kasi parang pangit pakinggan Sex Mo 1 eh. In Pampanga, this is in Pampanga. Pero dito maraming sex, no? Para kamukha ng Middlesex, ang ending
Yeah, Middlesex,
Essex, Sussex, ano pa ba mga
Yeah.
'di ba? Wessex.
Yeah.
Pero may
That's
Wessex ba?
true, yeah.
May Wessex ba
May
rito?
Wessex. I think may Wessex. May Wessex po.
Di ba kasi may Lady of Wessex, so parang sila ba ang ano?
Countess of yeah.
Oo, Wessex, Essex, Sussex, at saka Middlesex. Maraming mga
Yeah, that's
dito.
true.
Oo.
Yeah.
Dito sa London, ano yan, may Middlesex tayo, no?
Correct.
Okay. So, ayan, attorney, no? Ganda, no? O, yun. So, yun, meron ka negligent si Mario, directly negligent, liable. Pag hindi niya kasalanan, kamukha nang nahagi, tumalsik lang yung siguro, Guy Fawkes Night, nahagis yung paputok, nasunog yung whatever sa property, wala kang liability. Ayan.
Mario, if you want to prove that, get an expert's report. Halimbawa, ikaw yung tenant. Sabi mo, hindi ko kasalanan yan. Get an expert's report na nagsasabi na hindi mo kasalanan yan. Maybe an arson specialist.
Teka muna, arson specialist, hindi police yan, attorney, ha? Mag-hire siya ng
No,
parang
an
private.
expert, just an expert, scientific expert. Or a fire specialist. Someone who
Sa bagay,
can,
kung
can
ano.
find out.
Oo.
Yeah,
So,
kasi yung mga-
that could be a private company, attorney, para basta expert. Mas mabuti na yun, di ba? Mas
Yeah.
mabuti, at least, kaysa malaki bayaran niya, kung talaga ma-improve talaga na, na hindi ikaw ang talagang may kasalanan. At ganoon din sa mga nanonood sa ating mga kababayan natin, di ba? Marami tayong mga Pilipinong kababayan na nangungupahan eh. And pagka nangyari yan, let's say may nasunog kayo yung property, kailangan doon, ang test doon kung ikaw ba may kasalanan o hindi. Kung ikaw walang kasalanan, need to have an expert to prove, para nang sa ganun, di ba? At least makaiwas ka sa liability na hindi mo kasalanan. Ayun.
Or tanongin mo sila kung talagang kung sinasabi nila, because the claimant would have to prove their claim, di ba? In civil. So they have to produce their evidence, or you can wait and say, well, you have to prove your case. Provide your evidence. So see
Ayun.
what evidence that they can find. You can do that strategy as well. I think that strategy is also good. Kasi kailangan sila yung mag-prove ng kaso nila. So sila yung pabayarin mo ng ebidensya. Sabihin mo asan ang ebidensya mo? Okay?
Ayan, enjoying the topic, sabi ni Edgar, no? While enjoying my yogurt and enjoying making the episode 5, my friends. May episode kasi
Episode
gumagawa ng
5 and
comic.
13. Ang talented din talaga ni Edgar eh. Super talented. Mabuhay ka, Edgar. Mabuhay yung many talents.
Mabuhay ka,
Edgar,
Edgar, no?
Edgar. Talagang very enthusiastic about life. Ang daming like drawing, editorial cartoons, mga
Tama ka, attorney. Oo. Tsaka maraming
adventure
suggestion yan.
booking.
Maraming idea siya, maraming mga suggestion yan si Edgar, no?
Exactly.
Marami siyang, ano ba to? Okay. Nag-leave. Okay. Uy, si May. May, ikaw talaga, May, bakit diyan ka nagme-message sa Pinoy Radio UK? Andito kami sa ito sa
Sunduin
Pinoy
si May.
Filipino. Si May Tigbao Vargas. Good evening, watching from
Vargas,
Exeter, Devon. Happy Tuesday, everyone. May, paki-like na tong Facebook page nito, no? Whoever, anybody diyan, no? Ano pangalan ito?
Sunduin si May.
Paki-like ninyo. Ayan, para lang sa ganun malaman nyo na nandiyan dyan, mabasa natin doon sa sa mismong Facebook page ng Filipino TV Europe. Okay, I guess siguro attorney magpaalam na tayo, no? Ikaw, lalo na ikaw, kailangan matulog ka, gumising ka na maaga
Hindi na naman.
dahil ano, no? 'Di ba? Para sa iyong
Kakain na
ano,
naman ng
oo, mamayang umaga.
3 dates at 2 basong tubig.
3 dates ba? Bakit dates ka? Ako na, babasa ko laging dates ang pinaka parang common na nakikita ko. Bakit? Mas nutritious yan, dates?
Solid po yung nutrition tsaka yung energy level. And ito from experience po, hindi ko rin naintindihan noon. From experience, this is just me, pagigising ka ng 3:45, mahirap kumain. So you just want to be able to eat as quickly as you can, na andun na lahat ng nutrients, ng energy, and you can go back to bed. For me, having 3 dates, ilang uya lang, within 2 minutes, pwede na ako makabalik sa
Yan ba, okay, yan ba, nakakaling 1 week ka na? Yan ba, did you feel na you lost weight? O did you feel na okay lang ang weight mo? Or ang ginagawa mo, okay, konti lang, yung dates na 3, mabilis lang yan, konti lang yan, sa umaga. Binabawi mo ba yung pagkatapos ng fasting mo? Binabawi, lamon talaga, ganun na ba? O pumayat ka ba? Ano nangyari? Oo.
Lamon din, but actually, you can only feed your body so much after kasi mabubusog ka agad. So, medyo na-feel ko na siguro I'm lighter, hindi sobra, hindi yung parang ano talaga ako. Maybe just lighter, generally lighter yung feeling. I may have, I don't know, I don't know if I've lost weight. It seems like you just got a bit lighter. Hindi, not just weight, yeah, but generally parang walang mind fog, you don't have to have coffee, you just crack on with your day. So health-wise, it's been good. It's been very good so far.
Okay,
They
okay.
say you will lose
Good.
weight. You're bound to lose weight kasi you can only eat so much sa gabi. Diba, mababondat ka agad sa tubig. Yung tubig talaga yung... Ang una mo talagang hahanapin, Mr. Laragan, ay tubig, hindi pagkain. Tubig talaga.
Really? No. So how do you cope? Hindi ka pwede mag-gum niya, mag-bubble gum during the day, no? Hindi pwede, no? So total niya, wala kang inom, wala kang kakainin, walang lahat, no? Not a drop of water, wala talaga.
Yep.
So
Wala
mas
talaga.
ang tao mabubuhay ng medyo hindi pa nakakain pero yung naka-inom parang yun ang mas grabe.
Yun po talaga yung mas mahirap yung water, yung dehydration.
Dehydration,
Yeah,
oo.
dehydration.
Wow.
And okay yan naman, within one day, yung 16 hours na hindi ka it's fine. O hindi ka magkakasakit noon. Pero yun yung mararamdaman mo. Yun talaga yung parang, yun yung
Pero
sakit.
teka muna,
Yung-
nung first day mo parang, di ba, nahilo ka yata, o no? You had to
Nahilo po
take a
ako.
nap, di ba? Pero paano yung day mo ngayon? Nakakaisip ka ba ng straight? Parang nagagawa mo pa ba yung trabaho mo?
I start early. I start early anyway. Hindi ako ganun ka nag-overtime these days. So, also kasi pag pagod ka na, you don't wanna make mistakes too. So, kung noon hanggang 8 o'clock, andun pa or 7, ngayon uwi na mga 6 or 5:30 or 6 o'clock mostly. Pahaba din yung endurance mo. So, noon talaga 5 o'clock uwi na ako. Ngayon, 6 o'clock, okay pa ako, na kaya pa. Your body has an amazing way to adjust. Yun ang natuwa din ako parang, ay, okay pa ako. And then you go home, tapos parang, okay pa, hindi ako yung parang mahihimatahin ng araw na ako.
Pero kasi,
Just call me, I was really pale.
oo. Wow. Hindi, kasi nagwo-worry kami, attorney, dahil sabi nga namin, teka muna, si attorney nagpa-fasting. Tapos, siya pa ang managing partner. So, siyempre, ang laki ng responsibility niyan. Magpapastol ng tao yan. Kumusta ka naman?
Okay naman, wala. I think they check on me. Nakakatawa. Binibigyan ako ng pagkain for iftar ng mga workmates ko. Okay naman. I know. So what I tend to do is yung mga mabibigat na kailangan ng heavy thinking, I put it in the morning. And then the rest. And obviously, at the end of the day, we have to do our jobs properly. So, pag pagod na, ay hindi kaya yung, halimbawa, talagang kailangan ng brain power, you put it back in the morning. Yung
Ayun,
kaya mong gawin.
yung medyo fresh ka, kaya pa, no? Malakas.
You just have to be
Okay.
mindful. Kaya naman eh. And
Okay.
nag-a-adjust talaga. You'll be amazed as how yung day 1 compared sa ngayon, within just 8 days, nag-a-adjust naturally yung body mo.
Galing pala. Kaya pala sanay na sanay sila maski 1 month nilang gawin, bali wala na sa kanila, no?
Yun din yung
di ba?
naano ko. Sabi ko, paano nyo nagagawa to? And then they said, kasi noon, stop and start ako eh. Stop, start. Tapos hindi, nahirapan. Sabi ko, paano to? Sabi nila, pag tinuloy-tuloy mo, dun lang magkakaroon ng adjustment fully yung body mo. So, tinuloy-tuloy. Sabi ko,
Hindi ka, hindi kayo masanay kaya, attorney, hindi ka na kumakain. Baka mamaya, baka tuloy-tuloy, after 1 month, ganyan na kain mo, di ba? Uy, si
Intermittent fasting, sabi nga ni Edgar na intermittent fasting, parang ganito din eh. Yung mga nag-intermittent fasting, under 18-6 ba yung mga diet na yun. But, ay, sige, I won't probably do that after. Parang, kailangan ko ng tubig.
Hindi, kasi baka mamaya mag-carry on dahil simula, baka mag-adyan na yung momentum, di ba? So, una, mahirap, tapos nag-adjust, tapos parang, nakakasanayan ko na, di ba? Bali, ano ka na? Nakaka 1 week ka na. 1 week na ba?
Nakaka 1 week. 1 week na ba?
Okay,
8 days. 8 days na po.
So, abangan natin, plus 7, di 15,
Huwag na natin
kalahating
next
buwan na yun.
week.
Tignan natin kung, ay, teka muna, yung ano ba, na-injection na ka na ba pangalawa? Hindi pa, no?
Di po, June 5 pa po ako.
June 5, maswerte ka naman. At least
Kayo po?
Ako, wala
Kayo
pa.
po?
No? Wala pa. Kayong dalawa ni Attorney Lira, meron na kayong mga schedules yata, no? Kami, wala pa eh. Kami dalawa ni Peps. Pareho kami. Wala pa kami schedule. Chinay ko, Peps, ano? May schedule ka na? Wala pa eh. Si Peps Villanueva nga pala. Baka kalaan nyo kasi ng Peps, no? Si Peps. Wala pa rin siya, si Peps. Wala pa rin siyang...
Pa-check niyo po. Pa-check niyo. Pa-chase.
Nag-worry ako kasi kung February 23 yata sa akin, mo, dapat magsi 60 days sa May, no? Pag hindi, pupunta ako sa Russia. Ay, pero hindi. Hindi, alam mo kung bakit? Kasi kaya ko nabanggit yung Russia. Kasi, di ba, sa news, may mga German citizens because nahirapan sila, hindi kagad nila nakukuha sa Germany. Nag-aan sila tourist.
They go to Russia.
They go to Russia pa as tourist. Tinatanggap daw. Inaano sila ron, binibigyan sila ng ano tawag ito, ng vaccination. Uy, okay, attorney, napasarap tayo at napahaba. Di ba? Napasarap yung
okay lang
ating
napapasarap tayo parati. Walang problema po. It's okay.
Hindi kasi nabibis ka namin. Every week, once a week ka namin nakikita eh, di ba? And hopefully sana mag-normalize na yan. At makakalabas-labas tayo. We can go probably camping or walking or whatever, no?
That would be good. That would be good.
Kabibili lang ni Sol nung bisikleta niya. So at least meron ng bicycle, no? Okay, attorney. Si Rafael, ako tapos na ng second. Iningit
Kaya
pa
siya
ako nito. Kaya pala.
Iningit ka. Kaya may
Iningit ako.
ganun.
Iningit
May
ako.
ganun
Saan
siya.
ka nag-second dose mo, Emmeline? Diyan ba sa may scout something pa rin, no? Kasi pareho kami doon sa first dose. Hindi ko alam kung second dose, pareho din ako, no? Same. Mabuhay ba? April 10. Naku, mabuhay ka. Kami ni Peps, wala pa, no? From February 23 up to now, wala pa. Si attorney, malapit na. June, at least may schedule na, no? Okay, attorney, baka meron ka mga mensahe, mga shout-outs, so baka may nakakalimutan kang banggitin, no? O kaya may naalala kang gusto mong i-anunsyo, go right ahead, please.
Well, ingat-ingat lang po sa lahat and just happy Tuesday. Thank you as always for tuning in. Maraming salamat. Mr. Laragan, as always, it's good to come back home here. So see you again. Keep safe, keeping positive, and always choose to be happy. So have a good evening.
Ayan. And of course, they can get in touch with you, attorney, dyan sa...
Yes.
Sa
Ayun.
D. Quinto, no? Ayan. Sa
Yes.
ano?
And we do call back. Nagre-reply po kami. So, d.quinto@dvsolicitors.com. 0123-422-5188. It would be helpful kung isisend nyo kung it's about a contract, send nyo na agad yung contract para, we can have a look at it and then we'll take it from there. Okay?
Kung baka may anything na dapat i-attach. I-attach nyo na kagad para nang sa ganun.
Yun na po. Para
mas maganda rin siguro. Well, pero kung hindi nyo na i-attach, okay lang. Pero mas mabuti, si attorney suggests na you i-attach nyo na kung ano yung query ninyo, no? So, 01234 Ganda ng number ninyo, no? 01234-225-188, no? Yun lang
Bedford
kakamiso
yan,
din yun,
01234.
225-188 na lang. So, pero 101234. Okay.
Correct.
Well, sa ngalan ho ni Attorney Danna Quinto, no? Ako po si Sonny Laragan, no? Nagsasabing thank you ho sa inyong walang sawang pagsubaybay din sa ating programa, no? Every Tuesday, no? At kami ni Attorney Danna. So, let's do it again next Tuesday, no? Para sa isa na namang edition ng Legal Advice Corner with Attorney Danna Quinto. So, till then, take care, God bless, and sweet dreams. Bye!